What's up guys, Down in the Goat here. In this week's video analysis, we're gonna watch 2 of my matches where I finished the arm in guillotine. Last week I posted a video about finishing triangle chokes and I got a lot of requests about showing my arm in guillotine. So I picked 2 matches where I finished the guillotine and I'll walk you guys through my mindset, my grips, my strategies that I used to finish the guillotine choke. So I hope you guys enjoy. So first let's just look at the entire sequence without me talking too much. I just swapped my opponent and from here I start to attack the guard. First, let's negate any grips he made. From here I'm looking to pass the guard. Throw the legs by, enter the head. Got the arm in guillotine here. Now my opponent turtles. I switch my grip to a normal guillotine and then a high elbow one. Opponent rolls through, keep the high elbow, throw my leg over the back, and get the tap. Alright, so let's look at that sequence and I'll walk you through my mindset and the things you need to keep in mind when you're attacking guillotine chokes. So when I'm passing and I'm looking for guillotines, I will pass to the wrong side. There's no wrong or right, of course, but most people are used to pass to their left. I also like to pass to my left whenever I go for knee slides. I will pass that way. But when I'm looking for submissions and looking for guillotines in particular, I like to attack to the other side. So I will pass to my right, and that will make his head vulnerable for my right arm, because I only know how to do guillotines with one arm. So I go, and right here I can catch his head with my right arm. He turns in, he doesn't want to give up the pass, of course, and I can catch it with my arm. So now I'm in an arm in guillotine. Whenever the position is kind of open, so like scrambles like this, during passing, in open guard situations, I like to go for arm in guillotines. I feel they have a way better control than guillotining just the head. I connect my hands, and I try to flip them over. And I'm not in a rush to finish. Whenever I have an arm in guillotine, I know it's a little bit harder to finish, so I just hold the grips and I use my opponent's defenses to set up the attack. So I just turn my bottom position into a top position, and now I look to get in even better position. My opponent plays half guard. He doesn't read my leg, which is a good thing for me. Now I could step over to the mount, but my opponent turns in, back to turtle. And now I'm going to look for a grip switch. So, like I said, in open situations, like open guard, during passing guard, I don't like to attack just the head. But I really wanted to finish this fight, so I switched to just the head guillotine. And from the turtle, it's kind of a static position, so it's relatively safe to switch to a more aggressive guillotine. I look at my hands, I fall, and look, I'm falling on my right butt. I always want to fall to the side of the head that I'm holding. My opponent rolls over. I immediately follow up with my left leg, so my opponent can't flip out of it. That's a good defense, to just put your back all the way on the mat. As long as my left leg here follows him, I should be fine and should be able to follow him. So I can follow. We go back to turtle. I got a really strong angle on my martiality now. I sit back again. Now I aim to get my right leg across his belly, so like a bottom knee on belly. And there's almost no escape. My elbow is really high. My leg is blocking any defense you can still do with the arm. And I get the tap. So, alright, let's look at the whole sequence again. I'm passing the guard. I flip my opponent to... I pass to my right side. Most people don't know how to defend it too well, and it opens up a nice gap for me to use my strong hand to get the guillotine. So here my right hand grabs his head. My opponent turtles to defend, I get the arm in. Scrambly situation, so I like to use that to keep control. Not squeezing too much, just trying to get a good position out of it. My opponent likes to turtle, like usually I can turn this into a mount or a guard pass, but in this case my opponent kept going back to turtle, which is no problem for me because it's a strong finishing position for guillotines. Here. And I noticed he was relatively stuck, he wasn't moving too much, so that meant I could switch my grips to a normal guillotine or a high elbow guillotine, at least without the arm. And now I want to throw my leg over his back as soon as possible to control his rolls. and exactly what he does. When I sit back, he tries to roll, but because I controlled it, he couldn't flip out of the guillotine, which is a good defense. Again, I get my leg over, my elbow goes really high, this arm is all out of play, there's no more defense he can do with that, and now it's just a matter of seconds, and I get the tap. Alright, let's go straight into the next match. So here I'm fighting an opponent, he likes to do heel hooks, so he sits back instead of passing the guard, and he tries to get a single leg ace. I was pretty aware of the threat, so I use my hands to do some leg pummeling, and my opponent comes up. I can immediately catch his head in an arming guillotine. So whenever people are in an arming guillotine, one of the most common defenses is like putting a lot of pressure into me. So if you put your left shoulder in this, your right shoulder in this case, on my belly, you can alleviate a lot of pressure, especially with the arming guillotine. Another way to counter arming or guillotines in general is by pulling out. That's what my opponent is trying to do here. You can see my back is off the mat, he's pulling me back. But when you have a good grip on the guillotine, this can actually make it worse for the opponent. My coach Thiago, he always does this. He lets you escape a little bit, and from there the guillotine becomes even tighter, it hurts even more, and he gets some nice steps from there. So here my opponent is trying to pull out of the guillotine, so I don't need to like counter his pressure. I just need to keep holding it. I have to hold a tight grip, and then it should do its own work. Like he tries to pull out, but usually when you're too late in the beginning, like when I just lock the guillotine, you might be able to pull out, but when the guillotine is fully locked, it's going to be really hard to pull out. So from there, I would, when I would be defending, I would put more pressure on my opponent instead of trying to pull out. You can see his posture is all the way broken. It's also never a good sign where your head is all the way tucked to your chin, which makes it a weak structural position and easier for me to finish. I keep a solid squeeze. I don't put too much pressure in here. I get the tap. So let's look at that sequence again. Some leg pummeling going on. My opponent tries to come up. I immediately catch with my arming guillotine. Again, scrambly situation, so I need to be getting the arming guillotine. If I go for normal guillotines from scrambly situations, usually my opponents can defend. Opponent, instead of putting pressure like this, instead of putting pressure where I would have to sweep my opponent over, I could get a butterfly hook, top him over, and then work my way to a dominant position. He doesn't put pressure. He tries to use this hand to post out. You can see his broken posture, back is straight, neck is bent, never a good sign. So from here, I can just hold the guillotine. It's important you find that balance between not letting your opponent pull out and finding the perfect pressure spot. Here, I keep a solid squeeze. Make sure you can hold the squeeze for quite a while. You don't want to squeeze yourself empty on an arming guillotine. You want to keep a solid pressure for the entire choke. And there we get the tap.
Alright, thanks for watching. I hope you guys liked that and you learned something from it. If you have any techniques you would like to see me break down or give my opinion about, make sure to let it know in the comments. I'd be happy to help you guys out. Could be my techniques, could be somebody else's techniques, and I'd be happy to do analysis about that. If you like the video, make sure to leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel of course, and see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.